Hello there, everyone. Welcome to a new Let's Play with me, your host, Tim. And today, we're going to start playing through Resident Evil 4 together. There will be some prep here that you can skip by adjusting the slider up here on YouTube to the appropriately segmented spot, in case you don't listen to me prattle on about what this game is, how far I've gotten it, assuming I've played it before, any Timisms that we'll be doing as we play the game together, any mods I have installed, and a little bit of a disclaimer before we get going. Just click on the timestamp in the description or adjust that slider to the appropriate spot. And with that said, let's get started with the prep. Disclaimer first. Viewer, as you may or may not know, I've been having some health issues recently. Some of them are potentially extremely serious, and as such, I apologize in advance if I do not get to finish this Let's Play. Hopefully, I do. I very much want to. But, well, life may not allow me to do so. We will see what happens. So, I should hopefully have the results of my bone marrow biopsy before the end of the week, and that will determine what I am able to do. In any case, I figured I'd give you a warning about that before we get going. Next. This is Resident Evil 4, the remake. I have played and beaten the original Resident Evil 4 many years ago on the Nintendo Wii. I was dating Liz at the time, so this would have been some almost 20 years ago. My goodness, a very long time ago. And I haven't played through the game ever since then. I thought it was fun. It was a bit different. It was a campy action game. Reminded me a little bit of the second Alone in the Dark game, which also went from a pure horror game to a action game. I've been eyeing the remake and decided that I would pick it up. And I've played through the first 5 chapters, or most of chapter 5, and I like it enough that I figured, well, why not record it for the channel? Lots of other people recorded Resident Evil 4, and by now it's not as popular as it once had been because it's been several months out, and I figured it'd be fun to play it with you guys together. As such, I have not beaten this game, but it will not be a blind Let's Play, at least not at the beginning, and I'm intending to continue my single-player playthrough as I continue to record this game, so none of it may end up being blind in the end, but I will let you guys know if we reach a spot where it does become blind, because it's going to be quite a different experience for both of us at that point, since you're going to see me dying significantly more than I normally would, which will still be frequent enough. You guys should know by now that I like walking everywhere in games. This game is very pretty. I don't tend to record or play very pretty games on my channel, because I'm a fan of the old-fashioned games. In any case, the game is gorgeous, and I like walking around and looking at what the art designers or what the level designers have done in the game. You should expect me to do that and compliment stuff as we proceed to see it together. And I walk everywhere. This is not a speed run. This is not even going to be an effective run. There may be, like, every chapter is probably going to take at least 1 video, if not 2, because I take my time at this. Do not expect an A rank. We're going to end up with a B, because if we do manage to beat the game, we'll finish it in about 20 to 30 hours or so, since I really like walking. They did a good job on the walking speed of Leon in this game. We're playing this game because it is currently still October 2023, and I need another game up here on the channel to fulfill the spooky months, and they've twisted the story a little bit in this game. The original Resident Evil 4 was a campy, I don't even want to call it a horror game, a campy action game with some horror aspects. In this version of the game, it's more horror-ish, but still has action in it. But the story, they definitely attempted to make it a great deal darker than it was in the original. There's a bunch of other changes that I very much like, which we'll talk about as we play the game. Next, I have a mod installed on the game. It is a very slight mod. Most people aren't even going to probably notice it, but I am running a mod for the game. It tweaks Ashley just a bit. It makes her cuter. That's it. That's all it does. Most of you probably aren't even going to notice it. But, well, I saw the model, was like, oh, she's cute. we're gonna go with this mod. So, I am running a modded version of the game. And with that said, finally, I am also recording this game with OBS. Fraps cannot detect this game running, so it's a bit dangerous to use OBS to record a game because I can't tell if it's actually recording the game or not, and I have to double check all the time to make sure all the audio is set correctly before I go ahead and hit record. I use Fraps, not OBS. The good news is the game, if it's working, that's good, because Fraps, it doesn't work at all. And also because it should take less longer for me to edit the game in post, the videos in post. Not that you guys particularly care about that. But it does mean that I need to go and check under my audio recording, even though I think everything is coming out fine now. So I'm going to put a small break here, and we'll be right back to hit main story. So give me a second. Alright, viewer. It sounds like things are coming out okay. We haven't obviously gotten into any combat situations, so the music isn't blaring and people aren't shouting. My intention is to talk most of the time, if I can find things to talk about with you guys, so hopefully my panicking during the, especially initial portion of this game, won't be robbed from us by the shouts, screams, and obscenities hurled at us from the enemies we'll be fighting. Alright, so, let's go ahead and start us up a new game. Very quickly again, as proof, this is as far as I have gotten into the game. At this moment that I'm deciding to record the first one of these for my channel. And we have to pick a game mode. From my experience so far, hardcore is a fantastic challenge. It is significantly more difficult than the original Resident Evil 4 was, I feel. I never played the original Resident Evil 4 on professional mode. I think I only ever played it on standard. But I remember having way too much ammo, way too many healing supplies, and too much money in that game. I never really felt like it was in any danger, and I loved it. Hardcore, though, here, in this remake, ammo will be scarce. We won't ever have enough money. Damage is hard to recover from, because we won't have enough healing items to get through a good portion of this. It's amazingly difficult. And it's a challenge for us.
Y que aquí te ofrecemos, Señor, que la luz de tu gloria la ilumine hacia el paraíso. Acepta este cordero, arrastrado por la furia y el pecado, y acógenos en el paraíso y en tu seno. Oh Señor, nuestra vida es saludable.
September 30th, 1998. It's a day I'll never forget. The cop inside me died that day. And that night, Raccoon City was wiped out, thanks to the bioweapons created by Umbrella. Somehow I made it out, but too many others weren't so lucky. I was asked later to join a top-secret government program. Not that I had a choice. The training, punishing missions, nearly killed me. But at least I kept my mind off everything. If I could just forget what happened that night. The pain, even for a second. This time, it can be different. It has to.
So tell me, Yankee, why did you come to this horrible place? As close to nowhere that I've ever seen.
Let's just say, looking for someone.
That someone must be very important, huh? The chief gave the orders himself. Help him, he said.
I'm sure your boys didn't come all the way out here to roast marshmallows. Maybe you did.
You have a strange sense of humor. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. just between us, a lot of people have gone missing around here. And it's been that way for a while now.
Well then, should be just another day in the office, right?
I mean, last week there was a search for some missing hikers.
I'm sure you'll do your best to help me.
I think this is it. Nature calls, huh? I'll be right back. Qué frío.
¿Te has bebido el bar entero? You smoke?
Vaya sitio más tétrico. ¡Hey! ¿Hay alguien ahí?
He sure is taking his time. Did he fall in? Maybe you better go and take a look. Oh, watch the car. Wouldn't want to get a parking ticket.
So much for helping me.
Really like that they kept that line in about the parking tickets. And the delivery is a little different since it's not as a humorous start as the last one was. Anyway, we had the tutorial. We're not going to insult your intelligence viewer by reading what's on screen for the tutorial, and I'll skip all the tutorial messages that we see. There's no reason to bombard you with them. But I did mention that I like looking around at things. This looks simply amazing. I can't believe how far we've come since the old Commodore 64 and Atari 2600 days of playing games. My God, does this look absolutely gorgeous. Creepy. Very creepy. The only thing that would make this better for me is if I was able to play the game in VR mode, but my house does not allow such. I don't have the space to have a VR system here. Obviously a warning of some sort, which the cop decided not to follow, but now we're following him. There's a statement about fools that I could use here. Those crow sounds remind me of the crows from the Resident Evil 1 remake. I remember running past them out, but with Chris Redfield. Sounds like someone else is around here besides us. I don't mean the cop. The rocks make me think that this area was there's a quarry here or something of the sort.
How far could he have gone?
In the original Resident Evil game, you could shoot down crows to earn money. They would have maybe gems or a little bit of cash on them. Judging from the leaves, we can assume it is probably late or mid-fall. A deer. Dead, dying, placed on a rock. An altar, perhaps? Or an offering? Last time we seen something like that, I think, was in Darkwood, where there was a human half stitched to the bottom part of it. Undoubtedly footsteps. Someone might have gone to get some assistance. Like, once again, I don't think it was the police officer. Smoke. So there's a fireplace going. A fire in the fireplace at the moment. I feel like we would at least investigate any other points of entry into the structure before we walk up the staircase. We see none here. The windows are too small. That window, at least, is too small for us to climb into. So, the main door it is. The way the light glows, the grains in the wood, the way the stone walls are shaped, it looks so amazing to me. They did a fantastic job. Very quiet in here as well. If some people live here, they are not the cleanliest people around. Judgment is nigh. I cannot pronounce the Spanish here. I won't insult your intelligence by trying to do so. No one can be sleeping in this room, right? No hints as to where the cop went, if he's even in here. I suppose we are here to find him, not look for treasure. The discoloration on that wall made me think there was a secret door here. But if there is one, we don't see the mechanism required to interact with it. Given Leon's prior history in puzzles, it's probably some multi-medallion object somewhere in here where all the medallions are strewn in various other locations to open that door up. We don't have the key for that door.
Sorry to barge in like this. Busco a un policía. Vino aquí? This is not good.
Hunter's Lodge key. It is not good. Very different reaction than what I would expect for someone defending their home. Since normally they would begin shouting at you the moment you entered the home. He instead walked over there, pretended to be doing some cooking, and then attacked us. And it looks as if the police officer, at least his badge is here. Mario Fernandez Castano. Doesn't sound like Mario's doing very well in this place. Head torn off, guts split open, and that's it. I guess he was cooking it in the stew.
Man, that stinks.
This looks like hair, and God knows what else. Slop. Sorry, I'm pausing like that so in case any of you do speak Spanish, maybe you'll be able to translate that. I just realized I don't have the subtitles put on. I kind of like not having them on, personally, because it feels more like a movie to me. But if you guys would like them on, let me know, and I'll put them on for the next time I record the game. I've always liked in the in the second Resident Evil 2, the remake, the sounds of the footsteps were done perfectly. This game carries that new tradition. I very much like walking because of the sound of the footsteps as well. The wood creaks and groans here. And this is a bit ominous. I don't see any bone whale charms there. That's a radio going off.
Hey. I read you. What's your situation? What the hell's going on?
Sounds like his friend in the police car was just ambushed.
What was that? No fucking way.
That's the gentleman that we killed earlier, as it were. He walked out of the secret passage. The green herb, we will absolutely need that. Sounds like they're looking for us.
Bruce, this is Condor 1.
Hunnigan here. What's your sit rep?
President's daughter, Baby Eagle. It's likely she's in this village.
Our intel was correct then. Well done.
Need a location on a nearby lake. She may have been taken there.
Copy that. I'll see what I can find.
Hurry up.
Something's happened to the people here. My escorts are... Gotta go. Talk later.
myself out.
That was in the first game, too, if I recall correctly. The leaping out of a window. But it was in the front of the house, not the back of the house. There's no other entrance into the house from the side. So, like it or not, we're proceeding onward to find that lake. Looks like we're looking for the girl in the photograph as well. The first time I had done that house, I also did the same exact thing that you saw right there. I've been lucky enough to be behind that table when the creature leaped towards me and then just ran past it. We have a very limited amount of inventory here in the game. And only 10 bullets to our name. So we really don't want to be shooting unless we absolutely must shoot something. I'm surprised Leon didn't bring more rounds with him to start. I would have at least brought more bullets than just enough to fill the magazine inside this pistol. Then again, I guess he's relying on his knife for most of the wet work that he'll be required to do. You can shoot the crows in this game, as I mentioned earlier in the first one, and they will sometimes drop items, money, for example, or maybe a jewel or a gem. But in hardcore, I don't think it's probably worth, at least in the early game, using your bullets to do so. Those bullets will prove more useful being put into enemies to stagger them, or preferably help you kill them, than it will be to get a handful of coins from a crow. 12 handguns in the barrel. So that means that the locals here, someone must have a handgun. Some locals are over there speaking. Now, it's gonna be a good enough time as any to, I guess, to speak to you guys about saving the game. My intention is to not save in typewriters often. I will try to limit myself to using typewriters twice per episode or per chapter. So we'll be relying on autosaves for most of what we do. And I will attempt to soldier forward no matter how bad things go for us to make it more exciting for you guys. But if we do save in a typewriter and things go really poorly right away afterwards, we'll reload. I hope you guys don't mind that. That's a deviation from how I normally play the game. But this is a really difficult game, or I find it to be so. So hopefully that will be forgivable for you guys. Whatever's possessing the people has altered them such that they don't particularly care, I suppose, about the look of this place. Although, to be fair, they probably don't want visitors. And so they don't care if these outline structures are in the shambles that we're finding them in. In the original Resident Evil 4, there was a dog here that you could save, and he would help you later on during one of the boss battles. Apparently, that dog did not make it this time around in this version of the game. Another nice preparation for you to learn that this game is taking a more serious turn. I'm going to be doing a lot of inventory management as well, guys, so I apologize in advance if that's annoying to you. I like a really nice sorted inventory. We'll talk more about inventory in the next chapter, when we actually will get to a merchant. That hints there used to be a road here. Reminds me of every park here in South Jersey. Which tends to have something a lot like that lying in it. Or most of the wooded trails that aren't in public parks. I can see the pitchfork. Of course, it helps that I've done this part many times before, because I died here like 3 or 4 times. Whew! Whoa! Enemies drop random loot, so you're not sure what you're going to get from them. On hardcore, it's mostly going to be pestas, or pesetas, that we get from corpses of those that we kill, instead of ammunition. I suppose we'll talk about another Timism, which I failed to mention at the beginning. You guys know all about how I do reloading in games that have reloading in them for weapons. You can reload at any time. For this game, we will keep the same rules I have in most games, that we have weapons that have magazines in them. Reloading the magazine does not discard any of the ammo in the currently inserted magazine. And as such, I will not reload our magazined weapons unless we run completely out of bullets. The exception is if I'm positive we're done with an area and all the enemies within it. Then I think Leon could probably sit and count the bullets in the magazine, put them in a new magazine in order to save the bullets instead of just throwing them away. This trap. There are bear traps in the game. I don't really like the change they did to them here in this particular game. They do not hurt you, but they do immobilize you, which gives enemies a chance to actually hurt you. But you will take, to my knowledge, no damage from bear traps in this game. I'm going to guess that Leon expected them and has some sort of calf guards on himself. Maybe there was a bit of a warning issued. We do have a knife. You can stab with a knife. You can slash with a knife. You can also, well, you'll see us use the knife for more than just that going forward. Flash grenades. Flash grenades were very important in the first Resident Evil 4. They are a way to insta-kill some certain select enemies in the game and stun everything in a large area. We will try to make sure we don't use it unless we absolutely must. Herbs can be combined, similar to most Resident Evils. There are 3 herbs, to my knowledge, in this game. Green, red, and yellow. Red and green combined give you a full life restore. Yellow will increase your maximum life. Ashley does not actually need her... Well, no. We'll talk more about Ashley if we actually make it to her. And since this area is now done, we'll put 2 bullets back into our pistol. Our pistol can hold 1 more bullet over its standard 10, thanks to the type of pistol it is with that Leon brought with him. We'll read about all this stuff in a later episode, or at the end of this one. cult. Absolutely. With some people just going about what looks as if daily activities, but there's nothing in that pitchfork. So they're making it look like they're doing normal things. But there's nothing normal about this town. Structures are a bit in better shape. You hear chanting. So they killed that person and they then are doing some sort of ritual. There's, as you can see, stealth kills in the game now. Every person we kill now will be one less we'll have to worry about if the town becomes aware of us. Now, this is as far as I've gotten in the game, everyone, before I was detected. So, this was really difficult to do stealthily. In fact, I effectively just gave up. Gunpowders and pestisas are not going to help me kill these guys. And there's someone just outside over there watching down in this direction, so we can't sneak past him. Oh, we do have a... Oh, we left an herb over here. Okay. Everything you pass by will be placed on your map. So we should go back and get that herb. We just may need it. Once he's a little bit further to the right. Let's go. Oh, he's coming this way. I've already gotten used to having certain items in certain shortcut slots. I tried the Dead Space thing of swinging the camera around to look around corners. Okay, I was seen.
Here we go.
Oh, we slashed a guy. Whoa, that guy tried to grab us. We thankfully got away. Let's grab that herb. I think we're going to run into a building. We might have some cover there. 1 second.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
No time. We gotta get out of here. But there's a shotgun up here. And a hand grenade. Excuse me, sir. I really don't need to be grabbed at the moment. That's the chainsaw guy. Oh, excuse me. That guy has a shovel. We don't want any of that. That's a chainsaw. Good. They put the ladder back up there. We can't take that one. That guy's too close.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, man. We have to jump down. Oh, wow. Oh, that was so lucky. I don't think we killed anybody yet. I don't think we killed a single person yet. There's a barrel there, but we can't get it. Your chainsaw guy behind us. There's some bullets there, but we can't really take them. We can reload, though. Oh, I like that the guy ducked under his friend. Keep moving. Keep moving, Tim.
Let's see you climb this.
That girl has a pitchfork. Can't afford to stop. Gotta keep moving. The first game had taught me that keep moving at all times. Keep your butt moving. Don't let them surround you. Don't get cornered at a spot. Uh-oh. This is really bad if I have to go down this passage. Because there's no... We do have the shotgun still. We can whip out the shotgun if we need to.
Huh?
La campana. Hay que obedecerla.
Él nos invoca. Tenemos
Where's everyone going? Bingo?
All right, not bad. First time I arrived at the village, it was more or less the same.
Routes to Condor 1. I've identified a route to the lake. Look for a large windmill. There's a path on the far side of it.
Windmill. Copy that.
And be careful. Roost out.
All right, let's talk about this introduction while we scour the town and see what items we might have left behind and unplundered. So, it was V's map? Oh, okay, I thought it was M. So, my first time here was more or less exactly what you just saw, only I believe I had been grabbed once during the panic that I had been running around. Actually, I think it was grabbed twice, because my knife took quite a severe beating in the first attempt I did. But it didn't kill me, because I remember, run everywhere. You either need to kill a certain number of enemies, or wait for a certain amount of time to elapse before you'll be able, before the bell sounds and you're saved. I was curious if that would be the case in hardcore, if it would absolutely require us to defeat a certain number of enemies, but apparently that is not the case, or that was not the case even the first time here. In the original game, you could come up into the tower and keep shooting and swinging your knife at enemies to knock them down from that ladder. But I'm guessing they don't let you do that here. I'm going to assume if that happens, I've been assuming that that only happens after the fight. But perhaps if you were up there during the fight and the ground breaks away from under you, you will be really upset to be surrounded by a bunch of enemies, because there's almost no time between when you took damage and when you can take it again. The game's going to be very vicious to you. In the original game, chickens would sometimes leave eggs behind. They would just lay them. You could also shoot the chickens, I think, to see if you can get an egg from their body. But I generally won't be shooting chickens. We're gonna let them live. Another hand grenade. That's set to 4. Nope, that should be set. The reason why I equipped my grenade here, during combat, is because it was on the wrong hotkey. I pressed 5 and nothing happened, and I realized, oh right, I have to reset all the hotkeys here. Nice, more handgun ammo. Anything else here? In the first Resident Evil 4, I remember dying in the village a few times, even on normal, because I did not realize when I first started playing what the game was going to ask me to do. After my second death, I realized, run. Keep running. Don't let yourself get pinned. Don't stand and try shooting a bunch of enemies. Oh, small resources too, huh? Especially in hardcore, where they take more hits to kill them. I think we might have killed maybe one person with that grenade that we threw. And otherwise, maybe one... I don't think we killed any with our pistol. But we'll check all of this. I love the look of the town. I love all the trees that are around here. I like that some level designer placed, like, the boards across the windows. Each tree has been placed here. The way the picket fences are busted. How everything looks like it's in a state of decay and dusty. I love it. It's a great job on the graphics for this game. And I'm not a graphics person. Not by any stretch of the imagination. Let's check to see if there's anything up here. I think there used to be rifle ammo up here in the basic game. Probably nothing up here now. Actually, no, there will be no rifle ammo. You don't get the rifle at this point. We do see some pistol ammo there. Let's search this house. We'll get the pistol ammo. We'll search some more of the houses. And then we'll proceed onward. Now, what did we leave in here? Some shotgun shells. I don't think they're going to miss them. Makes sense as well, by the way, to have the shotgun in here, a grenade in that case, and some ammo here. The person here treasured that shotgun. And I won't lie, I think it's the only one we're going to find in the house. Sorry, in the town, for that matter. So the person who must have lived here, especially because it's a 2-story house, must have been more well off than the other residents here. We could have taken the time to shove this in front of that window, but I didn't see why I would. I was worried about the chainsaw guy just hacking through this door. As you can see, he did so. And that with the ladders already breaking through the upper story windows, I don't have time to move this in front of that window. Or at least it didn't feel that way. More bullets. Another first aid spray. Some pesetas. Very good. And it looks like that's all for this building. Cloaks have seen better days. So small kitchen, dining room, a little bit of a living area. Upstairs is where his bedroom was. Alright, let's get that ammo. To my knowledge, everything on the ground... Oh, an egg! See, I was just talking about eggs. Everything on the ground will remain on the ground. I don't think you have to worry about things vanishing. The map will continue, we'll just have it marked for you. Even if you leave this area and come back later. 10 more handgun ammo! Wow, game, thank you. I think, like the original Resident Evil 4, I think you get more stuff the lower of it you have. So if you're low on handgun ammo, and you have a handgun in your inventory, you will get more handgun ammo, I think. Our case is also a special case. It will allow us to have... increases the frequency at which we get handgun ammo as drops from enemies. I did not buy any of the DLC. I do not have an expanded treasure map, which I believe other people have. So we're going to play hardcore without any... I'm just going to say it, viewer. Any cheating. Expanded treasure map feels like a pay-to-win to me. It's one of the reasons why I did not buy it. You can disable it if you do purchase the DLC. But, well, I just didn't want it anyway. Getting extra money in this game equals more power, better weapons, more gear, and it felt like that would be too cheaty. So, no, we're not using any of that. I also don't have any of those little charms that dangle off your case to start with, because once again, I did not buy any of the DLC. I did not pre-purchase the game or anything of that sort. I do not recommend you actually do that. Don't give a company money in advance, especially in a game like this, which I think was like maybe $100. Fun game. I don't regret buying it this Halloween season. Okay. We didn't run through this structure, so I know something about this particular building, which will be of import to us. There is a person in this. He's not a friendly person either. We are going to try to kill him. I had run through this building my first time through when I ran past, and I think there was no one in. Actually, I think there was someone sitting in here normally when you run through. I ran for the window, and this burst open, and some guy leaped out of it. So it was curious to see that the door was, because I didn't run through this time around. The door was still shut. I'm like, oh yeah, some guy burst out of that. I don't have a key for that, Tim. I feel like we've left some stuff here. But I can't think of any other buildings that we've failed to search. Let's search this, the main house one more time. And then we're off. Something else that I will not be doing is I will not be buying the treasure map, which is available. None of them. I don't want to buy the treasure map. I like looking for treasure in the game, as opposed to having it placed directly in front of me, like on the map. It takes away the joy of actually trying to find the treasure, which I very much like. Okay, I see nothing here that we missed. Feels like we did miss something, but I don't... I think we actually missed a gem, but I don't know where it would be. Check this building one more time. Now I'm going on memory. No. We don't have a key for that. No, okay. Alright, we're done. Let's head on out. And try to find that windmill. Now, they all entered into this church. Let's see if we're... or chapel. Let's see if we can get access to this. Not without a key. The map will actually now mark with an exclamation mark that, hey, you need a key for this. And note over here as well that our map now tells us there's some treasure here, but we need a key to access that as well. In the original game, if you tried to run up in this direction, I remember there being bear traps on the ground to try to stop you from just running up here and trying to stop enemies from getting behind you. And it's curious that they're not here this time around. But in hardcore, you don't have I don't think you have the bullets to stand in an alleyway and down everyone. There's just too many, and they require too many hits to defeat. A ruby. Not quite the scene from The Witcher 3 when you wake up in the morning with Geralt, but still very pretty. Okay. Well, this is the only path for us then at the moment.
There it is.
Shotgun shells, very nice. Now let's look at some of our items in our inventory for a little bit. So we picked up something called resources. These were not in the original game. These can be used with gunpowder to craft certain types of items. We can make handgun ammo with 5 bits of gunpowder and 1 small resources. Or we can make 6 shotgun shells with 12 gunpowder and 1 small resources. Eggs still heal you a slight amount, so do normal green herbs. Nothing else here I can think of that has to be mentioned except for our knife. The knife didn't have any durability in the basic game, and was used for a few QuickTime events. Most QuickTime events in this game have been removed at this point, however. There's very precious few hit this button to not die occurrences. I think that I've encountered like 2 so far in the game by Chapter 5, and there was quite a bit more normally. The dagger has a great many more uses, though, in this game, and it's of great deal more importance if you do want to use your dagger to deal with certain enemies. Stealth kills, you must have a dagger in order to kill them, and some enemies on the ground will begin twitching. This is a hint that you should run up to them and stab them in the throat. Otherwise, they're going to get back up again, and possibly in a different form than they had been when they had fallen to the ground. Treasures are unfortunately not kept in your inventory. It's still something I would have liked if you had required to put all treasure items in your inventory, so you had to choose between ammo, health, and money. Alas, they're stored in a very special inventory at some sort of quantum pouch that Leon has on himself somewhere, so they don't count towards inventory limits. Every stealth kill will lower your the durability of your knife a little bit. But it's a silent takedown. The game now has silent weapons in the game, though I think it only has one besides your knife. Bullets will be in high demand in the game, so I'd much rather play this game like I'm a certain goblin than playing it like I played my oh, what was his name now? Denton in Human Revolution, Deus Ex. Treasures are hidden in things like that. We'll come back for that after we've secured the area a bit. We don't want to fire our gun for fear of it alerting enemies. Thankfully, it takes no durability of your knife to slash those pendants. At this rate, we can assume that all the locals will be extremely hostile to us. You might have noticed that they all have red glowing eyes, too.
No good.
Another reason why I like playing on hardcore is because of the lore of the game. It would make sense that these people are tougher. There must be some benefit for what's happened to them. And I really like the increased difficulty here. The animals this time around can attack you if they don't want you near them, so be aware of that. They also might attack enemies if the enemies are brought near them too. I do not know if running creates more noise than walking, or I think it does. You can't backstab or stealth kill someone, though, if you're not crouching behind them, as a heads up. My goodness. Almost filled up an inventory space already. I want to get one more gunpowder so we can make more shotgun shells. Though if we don't find some soon, we may decide to make handgun ammo. For love of God, will somebody please get rid of the blue medallions those religious lunatics left hanging around? Your reward for completing this task in the original game was the Punisher, a gun, which I would often just sell immediately right back to the merchant. Here, you get spinels, I think is what this is called, or spinels? I think it's spinels. Another thing I wish they had done differently in this game. Dynamite is beeping. I wish it didn't beep. If you can crawl under dynamite or avoid it, you're best to leave it alone, since enemies will not care that it's there and run into it willy-nilly. Our first yellow herb. More shotgun shells. Maybe we will make handgun ammo then. We need a cog in the machine in order to pull that lever, which will probably lift that gate. Let's explore out here later. It sounds like we can, and looks like we can make our way into the barn from here and deal with the girl we hear. Uh-oh. Hostiles. And they see me. And it's like there's something else outside, too.
God damn.
Oh, you can't knock that ladder down, mental note, everyone. Can't knock the ladder down, just a heads up. We'll assume that hurt them rather badly. Sounds like the bull guy, though, is still around. Yeah, he knows where you are at all times, so he's on his way. That's a massive sledgehammer. Let's get some height and fire at him from above, where we don't have to risk getting hit by that sledgehammer of his. We know that the dynamite's been destroyed. Took out, looks like 2 people with it. Darn it, we have 1 bullet left in the clip. I should have climbed the ladder. Excuse me, Mr. Bull. Okay, we're going back upstairs. We'll blast him in the head with a shotgun as he climbs up the ladder, then we'll jump down. The shotgun reloads individual rounds into it, so we can reload that weapon whenever we would like. Oh, nice. The pig's hitting him. But that doesn't really save me very much. So we're gonna leap over this. Okay, good. Back up the ladder. By staggering him, by the way, we are ignoring free damage because we can run up and roundhouse kick him. Woo! That's it. We can reload our pistol. Woo! Yes! This area defeated me a few times. The first time I had done this. For all sorts of different reasons. We will say. If I made that look easy, it's just because I'm a little more familiar with the layout of this area this time around. And what we are here for is a wooden cog. I don't remember those in the original Resident Evil 4 game series at all, so I think they're a new enemy. I very much like them. They are terrifying, and this is far from the first one of them we will fight. A kitchen knife. We're gonna want a lot of these. They have durability. They can be used instead of your normal knife. We can actually equip it instead of our normal knife at the moment. If we do that, for example, to save some durability on our normal knife. And another ruby. And then we search the rest of this place. So we have that. These are on the map, to my recollection. But I think I remember where the other two of them are. A bit cheaty, perhaps. I have played this before. But this took me a good 20 minutes to find. And now we can also examine this puzzle. Because it is a puzzle. I accidentally shot it down correctly the first time I was here. It occurred to me that if you shoot it down over this vat, it will fall into the vat. This used to be a different puzzle. There used to be a wooden plank you could shoot to shut a latch on top of this well of fetid water. That is not the case this time around. This time it's paying attention to where the thing is on the windmill instead. We'll be able to spend our pesetas and other items we're picking up in the next chapter. Let's make sure we didn't miss anything. I think we might have. Small resources. We don't have any gunpowder. Actually, we do have gunpowder to make more handgun ammo. But I really do want shotgun ammo. Another egg. My goodness, game. You're giving me everything. There is a storage that you can send items to, but only very particular items can you send there. Weapons can be sent to your storage, and only and first aid sprays. That's it. All other items you can't send to storage. Instead, you must make a decision as to what you're keeping or throwing away. Until our inventory fills with stuff, we will obviously keep all of it with us, but we will start sending first aid sprays to our storage if we must. And then there was this other area that we did not go through. Strategically did not go through, by the way. Over here. The moment you enter that barn is when the inhabitants are investigating if you went this direction. I wanted to kill the lady up here that I heard in the barn first, before I went into the barn proper. I think this area killed me about 12 times. The first time I did this. So I like mentioning that because if I'm making this look easy, it's because I have some knowledge about the layout of the map. And a flagon. This was here in the original game, but required jumping down in a certain way. We do not yet have 12 gunpowder. Okay. Locked doors. You can kick them 3 times. Sorry, padlock doors to break them open. You can shoot the lock. You can also use your knife. Costing you no durability to use your knife to break to open those doors. You can't open this, right? I cannot. Ooh, chicken. Thankfully, it hit our calf guards that we brought for those bear traps, and so we took no damage. We're going to play for only a little bit more. Everyone playing for almost an hour. So we're going to do a little bit of exploration here, but then I'm going to cut the recording and walk back to where we first... Oh! Yeah, because it's going to take us about another hour. Yes, it is, viewer. I'm sorry. To reach the end of the chapter. Because, once again, I like taking my time at this. And this does indeed look like a quarry to me. I like that some designer placed all the rocks here individually. Unless there's some tool they use to make, let's say, this wall, put this texture on it. And it's shaped in this fashion. Or randomly decide and that looks good. We're not allowed in there yet. Lots of pesetas. Heard a field rat. Lago. That's what happens when your internet's not very good.
Lake's gotta be this way.
Everyone blames that as to why they die in first-person shooters or RTS games. Okay, let's search around the building, but then I think we'll call it quits for the first episode. I'll get a chance to check my recording and make sure everything came out okay as well. You guys can let me know how the recording came out, volume-wise and darkness level-wise. I think everything should be good. More pesetas. The ski lift. Or rather, just a lift, I suppose. So this must be where they are bringing rocks and what have you from what they're mining over on that side. Down into the village to bring it to the road to sell it or transport it. Back when this town probably did things of that sort. Alright, viewer. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up here. So, I'm just going to walk back to the typewriter and save the game and chat with you guys a little bit more, but there'll be no more action here. So far, I think we're doing pretty well. We took no hits. No hits! So far. Not even a single one. That's pretty darn good. We used our maneuverability to dodge and keep away from enemies, which is going to be a theme that you'll see with me going forward. We thoroughly explored the town. I hope we found what I'm hoping is all the treasures, because we're not buying the treasure map to figure out if we missed anything. Something else that I think is I like, because I'll be curious if we can beat the game on hardcore mode without having found every single treasure. The treasure map does put the treasure directly on the map. Oh! Oh! Like this I completely forgot about, for example. And now I wish I hadn't seen this. We missed one pendant, and now that unfortunately that I see it, we are going to go and hit it. I thought we got this one already. We were just out in that area. But it puts treasures on the map with a gem icon. You can't disable the map once you buy it, unfortunately. I tried to do that after I realized what it had actually done. I had, for some reason, thought that the map would just allow the treasures to exist. But that's not the case. You can find every single treasure without the treasure map. Yeah, we'll have also more tasks than just this one for completion now. They added a small type of quest feature in the game. I wasn't so sure about it when I saw the second one. I'm like, oh, I don't know if like quests belong in a Resident Evil game, but it's acceptable because of how they've changed the merchant a little bit, which we'll see in 2 episodes from now. I suppose it's a moment we can show a few more things before we end. So here's our case. We don't have any special attaché cases. As you can see right now, the one that we start the game with, the one that comes with the game if you just buy it off of Steam, has an increased drop rate for handgun ammo. We have no charms or anything else we can equip to this at the moment either. For our storage, we are only allowed to move weapons, not grenades, and first aid sprays into our storage. I had sold my first aid sprays when I was playing through the game the original time, because although I was dying frequently, I was dying. I wasn't like wounded. This stage would finish me off. So, and I'd use all my eggs, and I'd have leftover first aid sprays, and I would sell them. I know better than to sell first aid sprays now. It's too important, perhaps, that you have a way to heal yourself, because things will go really south for us as this game continues. This is, after all, the first part of the first chapter that we just completed here, viewer. And once again, if I made it look easy, trust me, this is not going to be easy. Maybe this was easy, but it's going to get a lot tougher as we proceed onward. Okay, we'll save down here. And viewer, thank you again for watching. Hope it was fun, and hopefully I'll get a chance to record another one of these. And if so, I'll see you then. Take care, everyone, and thanks for watching.